You're listening to a podcast from the Finnish Football Show. Yes, it's the Finnish Football Show. I'm Mark Wiltshire. Listener, thank you for joining for this episode. And we're at the stage of the season. It's September international break. And that also means it's the end of the Runkosarja, the main part of the season in the Finnish Veikkausliiga. And I've managed to pull together a fan from each club again, as I did at the start of the season. Previously, they previewed their club for the season, and now we ask them to review how things have gone so far. So thank you to all the fans. I couldn't have done this without them. You can see there the Veikkausliiga table, and what I thought I would do is play the reviews in order of their Veikkausliiga position, starting from the bottom, going up to the top. So you'll notice a change in tone as we progress through the episode. And what I did, rather than like having a conversation with each of the fans, is I just asked them to record their review for me, and I gave them 5 questions. Now, you're going to hear these questions a few times because some of them answer them directly, but as a kind of introduction, I asked them to answer: how has the season met your expectations? What has gone right or what has gone wrong? Or both. Who have been your standout players? Are you satisfied or happy with your coach? And what are your hopes now for your final league position? So in the first half of the show, we're going to hear from the 6 teams in the Karsintasarja, or qualifier series, which is the bottom 6 clubs. So in order of appearance, we'll hear from Sami from KTP, Tuomas from Haka, another Tuomas from AC Oulu, Johan from Mariehamn, Petter from Jaro, and Sebastian from VPS Vaasa.
Hello everybody, this is Sami from KTP Supporters, and I will give you my roundup from the season and what is to expect for the relegation phase. At the start of the season, I really gave a really glowing and optimistic view on the team and on the season, what to expect on that. And as we can see that we are in the last team on the table, the last position, we can easily say that not many of the things that I really hoped on did not materialize on that. And if there's something that we can really round up the whole problem that we have had on the whole season, is defensive playing. That has been abysmal from us. It has not been good. And even the conceded goals really support on that. We on average, we conceded 2.5 goals per game. So on that, you are not winning many games on that. It's not possible on that. And there has been a little bit of improvement on the set piece defending, which cost us a lot of goals at the start of the season. But other than that, there has not been much of great improvement on that. And now, if there's some players that you can say that has giving us some kind of reign of hope, it's been, I could name like 3 players on that. I think Atomo Tanaka, that really has played greatly on the position that he has been playing more of a defensive role in the midfield, and he has been a really great asset on that. On the second one, we can say on Nathaniel Tambi from the SJK, that got signed as a part of a deal where Armand Wilson from KTP got transferred to SJK, and Tambi got signed from us. And he has been a really great asset on the midfield defending on that. And a third one that has been keeping us on getting goals has been Lucas Rangel, that got, as with Tambi, came from the summer window, as we had played nearly the middle part of the season. To the summer, we have been playing with our striker, and Lucas Rangel just gave us that we have needed for that. And above all, I think it's right now we're in a really, really tough position, that we have conceded too many goals on that. We could have played any better on that. There has been a really positive notes on attacking. That has been great one, as we scored against HJK at the 9th minute. Unfortunately, we lost the game at 1-4. You could say that the coaching team has been strengthened with Ossi Virta, that has been an assistant manager on different teams. Even that has not really progressed the problems with the defense on that. That has been still in that. There's just too many easy goals have been getting scored on us, and that has been a big problem us. Now, if there's any rope of hope on that, is that some of the teams have not very good on the defense also. You could say Haka has been really in a downswing on that, and which we won against the game on there, and we won 2 games on Jaro. So I think there's a still possibility on realistically getting on the second last position. That is really possibility in there, but as they always say, there's 5 games still going on there, and anything can happen. And so we are really hoping on not getting relegated on this season.
Hi Mark, Tuomas here, recording the update for Haka's season. Your first question: how's the season met your expectations? The season has been miserable. I can't say anything else. And what has gone right and wrong? I think in the start of the season we tried to sort of replicate the best things of Andy Smith's first season, having fast wingers, bringing new young Finnish players like Juha Kilo season ago. But I think we sort of failed quite miserably with the scouting first and foremost. So there has been players coming in and out, but the quality or the sort of starting 11 hasn't sort of performed as it should. So I think the scouting has been the biggest failure or problem, of course, in addition to the coaching this season. Who have been your standout players? Very difficult question in this kind of a season. I would still say that Okiere in the central midfield has been really good, taking a step from KTP to Veikkausliiga. With some remarks, I could also say Niklas Friberg in the defense. Eetu Mömmö has been good at times. Da Silva was really good in the beginning of season, even nominated in the team of the month, but towards the end he has been not as good, and he's a bit of a one-trick pony, so not very versatile. That is probably the sort of standout players. All the others have been disappointment, more or less. Are you satisfied or happy with your coach? I guess we could take the ex-coach first, and Andy Smith. Sad to say, I was really happy with the first season, but the second season was not good, and all the good things that were visible in the first season were gone, and then all the bad things like the media games and blaming the referees and not being a good leader to the players were visible, and you could even see from like reading between the lines of the players' comments is that they were really sort of not happy with Andy and also sort of questioning the starting lineup, whether that was based on performance or something else. And so it was just a matter of time to see the replacement. Of course, then the replacement hasn't been really good either. So we have just gone worse so far. So hopefully we can still change the course for the final legal position. But so far we haven't seen any or very strong marks of that. So hopefully, so the hopes for the Runkosarja or whatever it's called nowadays is to sort of get our defense right and thus get a chance to win some games and of course avoid the relegation and the last position. Let's see how it goes.
Obviously, AC Oulu's Veikkausliiga season 2025 have so far been a really disappointing one. Before the season, everyone thought around the club and the supporters that we are ready to get the 6th spot, finally getting to the championship phase after having two 7th places previously. That was because of the added depth in the roster in the middle, especially with William Eskelinen. I don't think AC Oulu have had a goalie with that CV before, but obviously he got injured and wasn't playing that well, I would say. And then also Rocky Dion was really good as a number 9 in the preseason, but got injured early on the season. And also Otto Kemppainen, one of the best wingbacks in the whole league, but injured like previous seasons in early phase of the season. And then so many of the main new players have been injured, and so there have not been that depth we really thought there would be. And why things went wrong from the beginning, I would say AC Oulu forced the 4-player defense line for too long and lost many points for that. And after moving to the three center backs and five defense line, it has been better. But obviously, when 2 of your opening center backs leave the club mid-season, Leon Bergsma to Swiss second tier and Mika Koskela to Norwegian league, so it really shows. And of course we had to get a new goalie from Thomas Kin from the Viking Stavanger, and he has been really good so far, but too much changes during the season in the roster, so anything we maybe got preseason results, they really like folded off during the season because of the injuries. Standard players, it's easy to pick 3 basically. Julius Körkkä, young forward, already have scored 5 goals with limited playing time. Then Adramane Kassama, speedy wingback, cannot finish to save his life, but is really strong dribbling and can keep the ball and just got called up in the Guinea-Bissau national team for the first time. So he's been, I think, one of the best wingbacks in the league. And of course Onni Tiihonen, strong breakthrough season in Veikkausliiga, playing as number 6. Really strong fighting spirit. Am I happy with our head coach Mikko Isokangas? Yes and no. He have been solid with his choices, and I think it's refreshing to see he have already showed he can make substitutions early into the game, and right ones mostly. But of course, the beginning of the season, sticking to the 4-player defense line cost points, and maybe he have been waiting for too long to make changes. What are my hopes for AC Oulu's final league position? Of course, anything other than 11th or 12th spot is great for us because we have the new stadium. It's gonna be finished late next season, and it's crucial to stay in the league. So of course we are dreaming about the 9th spot, but anything better than 11th or 9th is great for us, and it's still a lot of work to avoid the relegation games against Lahti or TPS.
Hello, I'm Johan Lindblom, and I'm here to give a little bit of a review of IFK Mariehamn so far this season. So my expectations before the season was that we will end up at 8th. It was more a wish maybe than an expectation, but I hoped we will end up around 8th with a little bit of space down to the 11th and 12th place. And this is pretty much where we ended with 9th now after the first 22 games, with a little bit of room down to 11th and 12th place. So that's the positive side, but I would say that the football we played has been quite disappointing, and it doesn't look good at all, I would say. It's been one or two heroic defensive games, and then a couple of real collapses, like the HJK game, 2-8. We got beaten. So it hasn't looked good, but the results have been surprisingly good thanks to a win against Ilves, and also I think it was away against KuPS as well. So it's been quite a few surprises, but many disappointing games as well. So what's gone wrong so far? I would say we had a lot of injuries. Patrick Raitaren, Mattias Kibiko, Emil Toivonen is out for the season. The two goalies, Rikonen and Lund, was both also long-term injured, but are now back. So we played a big part of the season with the third goalie, Vitola. He did it well, so nothing to complain about there. I would say that we even used a fourth goalie. We had to take in a guy from Portugal as well, Da Silva, who played a game or two. So other than that, there's not have been much positive things not much has gone wrong, basically. A lot of things I think have gone pear-shaped. But the standout player so far, I would say, in the defense, it would be Emanuel Okereke. I didn't even mention him as a player in the preview of the season. I expected more from Lindgren and Fonsell, but they have not really delivered this year and looks quite vulnerable in the middle of the defense there. Okereke is a strong guy, good on the head. He's been really good. He scored 3-4 goals as well. Rumor was that he was going to Motherwell during the window here in the summer, but that didn't happen because, of course, when that rumor started to fly around, IFK Mariehamn had a couple of collapses, and I guess the agents were looking at that, and it didn't look good. Because the thing with Okereke last year, he was obviously strong back then as well, but he throws a lot of strange passes up the middle to the right in the open attackers. I mean, really crazy things. So he's a little bit unreliable, but the first half of the season he seemed to have dropped that, but I think it's started to creep back a little bit again. In the midfield, I think Patut has again stepped up a little bit, looks quite okay. And also our young guy, Nilo Kujasalo, he has looked quite well, and he's certainly a man for the future. He was called up for the U21 Finland here the last weekend. So, there's definitely big potential in him. Then we come to the attacking side. Didn't look good of the whole year. The two guys I really was pitching in the beginning of the season, Admiral Musqui and Cody David. Musqui was sent home a month ago. He didn't do anything. He didn't hardly play in a game. He was injured. He looked lost. Cody David, on the other hand, he started bad. The first half of the season, nothing came out of there, but now he has waken up. And I think he scored 6 goals now in the last 2 months, maybe. So he is looking good, and he is, I think, the one who's going to save us pretty much this year. Regarding the coach, Gary Williams, he's almost a local lad. He's been living from Åland over 10 years. He's a local guy. He has not impressed me, at least. We have not played good football. We seem to be lost tactically, and it feels like we're always losing the games tactically as well as player by player. But I think knowing IFK Mariehamn, I think we had 6 coaches during the last 25 years. So it's not a club that changes a lot, and 4 of them were based on the islands before. So I don't think the club will change anything. They will say this is his first year, let's give him another year, because the points have sort of come in, although the football has not looked good. But I think they'll probably give him another chance. I'm very skeptical, but I think this is how it's going to end, right? They're gonna keep him, and we're gonna have another miserable season next year, I think. I think for the last 5 games, we're now at 21 points, 5 again above Haka, and 7 against KTP. So we're still in the mix to be on 11th, 12th place. I think we need probably a win or 2, and we should be safe. I think a win in the opening game on Haka next week, and we would have a lot of air down to the 11th and 12th place, and that's. To be quite honest, that's where I've been looking the whole season. I mean, I've been looking down. I mean, at some points of the season, we were very close to the 6th place, like maybe 3-4 points behind it if there's a chance. But to me, we have nothing to do in the upper half this year. I just hope we get through this season with a lot of air down to 11th, 12th place, so I can sleep during also September, October. And then after that, it's my favorite season. It's November. There's no games. It's the silly season. New players coming in. You can build up your hopes, naive hopes, your pink clouds for next season. Then they come crashing down as usual in mid-April. But that is the circle of life, I guess.
Okay, hello. This is Petter, supporter from FF Jaro, and to the first question, how has the season met your expectations? I would say it has exceeded my and many fans' expectations, because everyone predicted that we would be in last position at the moment. We have collected many points, played some good games, and with the player budget that we had, this is actually really nice result so far, and also we're now in the semi-final in the cup, so it has exceeded the expectations for now. And to the second question, what has gone right or wrong, then I can start with what has gone right. Then I would say we have got wins in the important games. We have beaten Oulu, Haka, Mariehamn. So that's the 6-point games we have won, the important ones, I would say. Then, good defending overall, I would say. Tight, good defending. What has gone wrong? Well, 2 defeats against KTP. That was quite surprising. So that I would say maybe has gone wrong. Otherwise, not so much, actually. And for the third question, who have been your standout players? I would say, of course, Kerfala Sissoko, the striker, scored many goals this season. Then Manasse Kuso in the midfield, very good motor. He is like good in defending, but also building up the passing, and and also our goalie Miguel Santos been saving a lot of points for us, so he has been very, very important. I would say one of the best goalies that we have ever had in this club. And for the fourth question, are you satisfied or happy with your coach? I would say yes. Of course, when the team is now in I don't know which position, but they have collected so many points. Nobody had the expectations that we would be this high in the league. So I would also say that I'm happy with the whole squad, the assistant coach and also the physic coach, goalie coach, and so on. So it's a good team effort, I would say. And the last question: what are your hopes for the final league position? Well, the hopes is of course to stay in the league. So not in the qualification position and the relegation. So to avoid that, of course, then it has been a good season, and if we can get ahead of VPS in the league, that's also very important for the fans.
So VPS season, or the regular season, so to speak, so far, it's been quite the disappointment if you look at how it was expected before the season. Probably one of the best teams in the last years on paper, with some strong acquisitions in the winter and spring. So at least, and I know the team had the expectation to be in the top 6 as well. So of course for them, a huge disappointment. What's gone mostly wrong in the season? There was a streak of 10 games without a win. I think that was what impacted the most. They couldn't really get out of the bad streak. Of course, they had the chance in the last game against the Inter, but all points are equally worth, and if you miss them by late equalizers or such in the rest of the season as well, it will impact the end result. For example, the Mariehamn game at home, 1-1 with the equalizer in, I think it was the 4th or 5th additional minute. What could be also argued as a ball that the goalkeeper should get. We have had huge struggles with the defense. To be honest, if you look at a couple of seasons ago, we had Pikkarainen and Pitkänen as stoppers, and then Pikkarainen left, and last fall Pitkänen left, and more or less our defense in the box is, especially on set pieces, is Maisafal trying to clear the ball away. So we've had some struggles with that, and also some struggles with balls behind the line. As well as we've seen, for example, against SJK, I think in the spring there was some good example of this. The attacking has been, I think, okay. Maisa has been huge, scored a lot of goals. Of course, it was a dent in the squad that Mads Borgers was sold to Ingolstadt in the summer, but to be honest, he didn't really play that many games. So I don't see that. It's more maybe that some of the new guys haven't really performed as expected, and as well, we in the spring, as when things were still good, we had quite some injuries. For example, Jonttu Vahtera, who hasn't almost played anything at all, and so on. Some good points from the season. Hard to find anything at the moment, but. As I said, Maisafal, really good acquisition. And at times, for example, against HJK at home, we played really well for one half, a bit more, and then they scored a goal more or less out of nothing. And then it was the psychological thing again, back at square one. It was during this 10-game streak. Other standout players. I think well, Martti Haukioja has been quite good. Pedro has been okay. Justiniano when he's been playing. I think there are actually of the new guys maybe more disappointments than standouts, but I guess it's a standout to be a disappointment as well. Dekker had some decent moments, but and he's been defensively quite okay, but in attack, I think a lot more was expected. Jasina Luatki has been playing quite a lot on the number 10 spot, even though he's more, I think, a defensive midfielder, but he's played okay. The games he played at the bottom, he's a bit slow maybe, but that's he has a good eye for the game. Done some good cross balls as well. Other than that, I really can't think of any any real great guys from this season. It's been quite a dull season, to be honest. No really like extraordinary moments, except for maybe the 5-1 win at Mariehamn. But on the same time, I think Mariehamn was quite to be honest, in that game. The coach, Jussi Nuorela, has been with us now for over 4 years. I think in some ways he's good. He has quite the clear idea how to play, but also that brings the backside that his system is quite rigid, and if you have injuries on key players for the system, there's more or less there's no idea in the play anymore. And especially you could see that when someone like Maisafal was away from a game. And also a huge discussing point this season has been the young guys not getting any chances. Of course, now in the end of the regular season, we had something to play for. So I guess it's natural that you don't give any extra chances to the young guys. But in the beginning of the season, Kalle Huhta and maybe even Olavi Ketori, though he's quite small still. But we have some decent guys on the bench mostly. So that's been a huge point of criticism this season. And also, of course, the prolonged contract he got in the end of July was criticized because we were in a 7-game streak without a win at the moment. In final position, I don't think really. I think the ideal thing would be to win the first game against KTP at home, and that would more or less secure the top 10 spot. So then we could rotate the young guys and so on. So I think the most important goal for the rest of the season is to try to get some minutes in the young guys.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys, and good luck to all bottom 6 teams for keeping themselves out of trouble. One of you is going straight down. One of you is going to end up in the relegation playoff. But I like all our Veikkausliiga fans that are part of the pod, so I don't really want any of them to be disappointed. So good luck to each of them for getting what you need this season. I particularly loved Johann's comment about the closed season and then starting already to get your hopes up for the next year. I think that sort of sums up how every football fan approaches the closed season. In the second half, we move up into the Runkosarja or Champions Series, which is obviously contested by the top 6 sides. So again, in order of appearance, we have John from Gnistan, Julian from SJK Seinäjoki, who had made our only video submission for those of you watching on YouTube. We've got Jouni from KuPS, Ali from HJK, Jamie from Ilves, and top of the table is Jussi from Turku.
All right, my name is Jon Ernsten. I'm a EF Gnistan supporter. First question. How has the season met your expectations? I'm pretty satisfied. We really haven't had... In the beginning of the season, we put a goal for ourselves to be in the top 6, and well, we barely made it there, but we still made it. So I'd say this season has been slightly positive so far. Could have we done better? Perhaps there were a couple of games that we should have won, but in the big picture, I think it has been okay. Question number 2. What has gone right or wrong? Well, like I said before, this season we haven't had really big slumps where we would have lost a lot of games. So we've been pretty mediocre, I'd say. Maybe what's gone wrong? At one point, we had a lot of injuries. Roman Eremenko was out. Vertti Hänninen has been out for the biggest part of the season. And so that was maybe the biggest thing that went wrong. Well, I don't know if you can really blame anyone. But what has gone right has been the development of some players. So question number 3. Who have been your standout players? Well, for number 3, I would put our goalie, Alex Kranings. He's been solid. Nothing to complain there. I hope he continues next season because I mean, I would say that he might actually be in the top 3, top 5 goalkeepers of the league. At number 2, I have Edmund Argomensa. When he decides to put the work in, he's really good. He is, I would say, almost fantastic. Sometimes he has an off day, but there have not been a whole lot of those. And at number 1, I have Rashid Gnanu. We call these kind of players African lottery tickets, and it seems that we hit the jackpot with this one. In the beginning of the season, we didn't really know what we're getting, but during the season, he really found his place in the starting 11, and quite frankly, I'm really surprised that if he'll play next season for Gnistan, because he is that good. He's absolutely fantastic, and I would say one of the best, if not the best, scouted players in the league this year. He's really a great star, a huge star. Question number 3. Are you satisfied, happy with your coach? Yeah, I'm happy with Jussi Leppälahti. He's intense. He demands a lot of his players, and he's really passionate about what he does. Sometimes that passion can maybe boil over a little bit. Maybe he should try something like yoga. That could be helpful, because against Mariehamn he got a red card, and that resulted in 2-game suspension. So we can't have too many of those. But yeah, we're generally really satisfied with Jussi. And the last question: what are your hopes now for your final league position? Well, we're in the top 6, and what is it, like 13 points to the 5th place, and I want to believe, like it says in the X-Files poster, but I also do know how mathematics works. So it's a long way to climb, and I would say, let's just go out there, create havoc, and hopefully we can just ruin someone's day by playing well, by grabbing a couple of 3-pointers, because let's just go out there and have fun and enjoy the game, because our chances are slim to none that we would grab a Euro spot or even go one spot up to the 5th place. So, just enjoy the moment. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jules, and I'll be talking you through SJK's season so far. First questions we have here, how has the season met your expectations? Well, basically bang on. At the top end, maybe before the start of the season, it was anywhere between 4th and 7th, or maybe challenging for the title. Well, no, challenging for Europe. And we're 5th at the moment, at the end of the regular season. And the only real surprise there, I suppose, is that Inter have done so well. And so we could be 4th, but yeah, amongst the top teams, it's gone well. What's gone right? What's gone wrong? Well, we've hit some good form at the start of the season. We hit some good form at the end of the season. And then we had a total injury crisis in May, which left us with one of our starting back 5, if you include the goalkeeper. And in that time, we went so many games without winning a game. So that's what went wrong. But generally, it's all been right. Our standout players, well, everyone has performed well. No one's been bad. But we'll talk about 2 players that have improved. One, leading goal scorer so far, Kasper Paananen. He's not better than he was last season. He's just more consistent. So rather than hitting form last season and being hot for 3 or 4 games, he's just hot all season. So that's a big improvement. And another one that catches the eye is Salim Youssef, who's moved to right back, and he just looks assured at right back. He'll take players on, beat them, and make a decent pass. So for me, I would say that those are the 2 standout improvements, rather than everyone else has just been as good as they were last season. Are you happy and satisfied with the coach? Absolutely. No one come for Stevie. He's staying with us. Well, at least to the end of the season. Well, and then if you come with a big checkbook, because we're very happy. We're playing nice football. It's entertaining to watch. Yeah, very happy. What are your hopes for your final league position? Well, our final season, or was it championship series, or whatever it's called, it started 1 game early. We had KuPS at home, and we are the chasing team. We're 5th. So we need to make up on the 4 teams that are above us. And to do that, then we need to beat teams like KuPS at home. If we don't do that, then we're going to be finishing 4th or 5th. So I know we can give everybody a game. We can play everybody. We can beat anybody on our day. But what we've got to do is make sure that it's our day more often than not. So beating these top 6 teams, top 5 or top 4. It's like I'm hoping that I think the games against Gnistan will get equaled out. Everybody will do equally well against them. But it's the other top 4. We've got to beat them at home and get something away. So if we do that, then we can lift the title. If we don't do that, we might not even get Europe. So anything between top and 5th. Okay, enjoy the rest of the pod.
Hi all the listeners, this is Jouni giving a short recap on KuPS season so far. KuPS is at the moment only 2 points away from league's top position, so every supporter in Kuopio is extremely delighted to see that KuPS is still playing for the title, even we had the really action-packed summertime with the European games, and somehow we didn't drop as many points as expected in July. Even the really weighted squad additions didn't arrive early in the transfer window, but then at the late all the European tour was a success. I would also assume that the Conference League spot was the main target for the whole club this season. And now when they have secured that, there is a really positive atmosphere in the whole club, and also they can trust into the process when they already have won something this season. Ibrahim Cissé has been our key player the whole season, and his importance is even bigger when Samuli Miettinen is now missing for some time due to the head injury that he got in the last game against the Latvian side RFS. Also, the statistics show that during the past 3 seasons, KuPS has dropped most of their points when they have been playing without Cissé. So that's really something to think about. And of course, because it's now the latter part of the season, it's getting a bit darker. It's once again time for Pennanen to shine. He's been really influential during the past month and also scored some important goals. So he's really the player to watch, as everybody in Kuopio wants to see. And then the big debate in Kuopio this season. Jarkko is arrived, and he has done a solid job in taking KuPS to the European Conference League. And I think that's the result that the club really won it, but then the performances behind the points tally, that's something that has been giving a bit of a worry to everybody who has been watching KuPS games, because most of the performances in the early part of the season and then in the mid-season, they weren't really that impressive, but because of the individual efforts, KuPS managed to get more points than they probably deserved. So KuPS really still need to improve their game if they want to play for the league title. And this is also the key question for the rest of the season. Is KuPS able to improve their performance, and how will it happen? They are surely still a hard team to beat, but there isn't much room for error, and the new players, they need to be able to perform well immediately when given a chance. For example, this new Polish striker who has now been selected for 3 or 4 league games, he hasn't scored yet, and it has raised a lot of questions if he should be the one in the top 11 or if the young Mohamed Touré should be playing more. In the end, KuPS will have their league race, then they still have the Finnish Cup semi-final against Jaro, probably also the final against HJK. They will play in the Conference League, so I would say that they will manage to finish into the 3rd position this season in the league.
Hello everyone, it's Ali Manson here to talk all things HJK. I have to say this season has been rather underwhelming. The biggest concern has been the away form against teams like Inter, KuPS, Ilves, SJK. It's been not good enough, to put it simply. And that has to change if HJK are to achieve their objectives for the rest of the season, which will be to win the Veikkausliiga. I am hopeful, of course I'm hopeful that they can do that. I think on their day this team can rise to the occasion, but we've also seen a lot of inconsistencies this season, both home and away. I look back and think about the game against Inter a few weeks ago, and I have to say Inter were incredibly impressive. That was arguably the best away performance that I have seen against HJK since I've been following Finnish football, so that's over 6 years now. And I include teams like Roma, Betis, Malmö, all these big teams haven't come to the Bolt Arena and played as well as Inter. So without this section becoming an Inter love-in, because I do not want to do that, HJK need to look at games like that and think, we need to make some changes. We need to see what went wrong there if we are to win the Veikkausliiga this season. Can they do it? I have my reservations. You can hear it in my voice. I'm not sure. I think ultimately, if they can finish second, which can obviously help for next year's European qualification, that would be seen as a small success with a very, very small S. HJK need to be winning. They want to be winning, not just from a financial point of view, but from a status point of view as well. But I think if they can at the very least finish second this season, they can, maybe not like clap themselves off the field or tap themselves on the back, but they can have some kind of satisfaction there. There's been a few decent performers this season. In certain games, Pukki has looked like old Pukki, which has been lovely to see. A lovely trip down memory lane as well. Same with Alex Ring as well. His goal-scoring prowess this season has definitely taken a lot of us by surprise, but he has played pretty well consistently and popped up with some really fantastic goals, arriving late in the box, which has been really impressive, I have to say. I'm always a big fan of Santeri Hostika. I think he's the most consistent performer, and I always think this is probably going to be the last year of him, but he keeps staying, which I'm very, very grateful for, because I think coming in on the left-hand side, he's always brilliant and always a threat. I also have to give a shout out to Benji Michel as well, who has come in and been a pretty decent addition to the team, I have to say. He's been consistent, he's got pace, he can finish, he can set up. So I think, those four players have shown that there are goals in this team and that they can be a threat for anyone. But they are leaking goals still. They're occasionally quite weak in the centre of midfield. And so, it's going to be hard. But I have faith that they can step up now, narrow their focus, and achieve what they hope to achieve for the rest of the season.
Hey everyone, this is Jamie with the end of regular season review from Ilves. The pod boss, Mark, has sent a list of questions for me to answer, so I'm just going to run through those in order. And the first one has this season met your expectations? I'd actually say it's surpassed expectations. Currently in second place, just 1 point off the lead with the break in the season. I'd have taken that for sure. I remember the pre-season review show with myself and Rasmus talking about Ilves and thinking about the players that had left. We weren't so confident that Ilves would be challenging for the title. So great to see that we were wrong with that. And so far, so good. Second question is what has gone right or wrong? So starting with what's gone right. Firstly, just managing to keep at the same pace at the top of the table despite losing key players from last season. We lost 3 or 4 key players and brought in 3 or 4 new players, and things have carried on as normal, and all of those new players have gelled into the team really well. So we haven't missed any of the anyone from last year that significantly. Another thing that's gone right is that there's goals coming from all around the team. 6 players have scored more than 4 goals, which really helps, shows we're not reliant on one person. Although saying that, it would be nice to have a striker who could score something like 1 in 2. Rob Periski's having a really great season. He's got 7 goals from 21. Most of those 21, if not all of them, he would have been subbed on or off. So his goals to minute ratio is probably very good, but it's still just 7 goals. And if we could have someone at double figures at this stage, it might be the difference from being top or second. What's gone wrong? Well, not much really, but going out in the cup so early was a little bit of a blow, although in hindsight it can enable us to focus on the league without many distractions and giving the players some well-needed rest with instead of the cup draws. But still, a little bit of a shame to go out so early. And then Europe, we haven't had some of the favourable draws that our near neighbours to the north have got, playing teams from the Faroe Islands. We got Shakhtar Donetsk and AZ Alkmaar, which is really challenging, and the 0-0 against Shakhtar at home and the 4-3 victory at home as well against AZ Alkmaar is a massive success. But it would be nice to get some easier draws next year so we can try to emulate KuPS and HJK in previous years getting to the group stage. Next question: who has been your standout players? It's actually quite difficult to pick standout players because it's been a real team effort. But special shout out to Oiva Jukala. He's been really key, consistent player for us as an attack option from the wing. Great to see him get a national team call up recently. Jardel Kanga has got some really important goals and winners for us, so he's made a huge impact. As has Otto Tiitinen. I hadn't actually heard of Otto when myself and Rasmus had our pre-season review show, and he said to watch out for this guy. He's a serious talent, and a week or two later he scored on his debut and assisted one, if I remember correctly, and he looks a class act, really good on the ball, rarely gives away possession. And then there's a shout out to some of the other newer joiners as well in the team, Sally Bison and Raleigh at left back, really gelled in well. Next question: are you satisfied and happy with your coach? I think you have to be at this stage. He's bringing in new players, gelling the team, bringing on a number of youngsters, getting them have a great experience. To be 1 point behind at this stage of the season is great work. So keep it up, Jonas. And final question is: what are your hopes now for the final league position? Well, obviously, first would be great. Finished in the top 3 twice, I think, over the past 5 or 6 years. So now's the time to get the first place. So looking forward to the end of the season and getting together for a end of season review with Ilves as the champions. Thanks.
Well, to be honest, this season has been better for us than we would have ever expected. Even though there were a lot of positive signs from pre-season. So far we have 46 goals scored, 20 conceded and only 2 losses. So we cannot really be anything but pleased with how the team has performed. What has gone right is the team has not conceded goals from stupid mistakes like on the last season. And on top of that, we have created a lot of chances against pretty much every opponent in the league. Only thing that has gone wrong so far is that on a few games, especially against the bottom 6 teams, we have been wasteful, and we probably should have turned some of the draws into wins with better finishing. The whole season, everybody who follows Finnish football has been talking about Axel Kovame, but I have to point out that there has been many other standout players as well. Of course, selling Kovame is a big loss for the rest of this season, but just to name a few, I think Legbo, Krebs, Niska, Kuittinen, Huhtanen, and Esomba have all improved a lot during the season, and we can only be happy with them. We are very gratified on our coaching at the moment. Like if you compare our squad to those of HJK or KuPS, for example, it's quite clear there is not as much depth on our squad, but we are still leading the table. Before this season, I would have been extremely happy for a top 3 or top 4 finish and a spot in the Conference League qualifications. But given how we are still leading the league, I think the only right answer for this moment is to hope us to win the whole Veikkausliiga. As we don't have as much quality from the bench as the other top teams in the league, we have to hope there won't be injuries for our key players. And I think if they stay fit, we have every chance to win the whole league.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. And thanks to Jamie. I think Pod Boss has got a certain ring to it, don't you? Thanks again to every one of the Veikkausliiga fans here for representing their team. This episode obviously would not have happened without you. I asked each one of you for an update of 3 to 5 minutes, and 12 of you combined gave me a tight 55 minutes. And then, of course, I've had a few words, probably another 4 or 5 minutes, just to put it up to an hour. But I think between us, that was a great team effort. Listener, thank you for listening. I hope you found this as interesting as I did. It's given me some things to think about as we go into these final series in the league. Good luck again to our 12 fans, and until the next episode of the Finnish Football Show, goodbye. You've been listening to the Finnish Football Show. You can find us online at finishfootballshow.com. Remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow the Finnish Football Show page and group on Facebook and also on Instagram. Escape to Suomi on Twitter is now Finnish Football Show on X. And you will find us on Blue Sky at Finnish Football Pod. See the links in the episode description, along with the links to the Finnish Football Show merch stores.